Welcome to Binghamton.
My name is Sandra Steingraber. I'm a biologist, I'm an author, I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm a mother. And I brought with me my 13-year-old daughter, Faith. And I'll leave it to you to imagine why a cancer survivor would have a child and name her Faith. Her teachers told me she could leave school today and come here because he thought that this fracking movement was the civil rights movement of our generation, and he wanted her to see it. Okay, the SGIS, which is the environmental impact statement that says that fracking seems to be okay, is 1,537 pages long. These are 1,500 pages. 3 reams of paper. It weighs 15 pounds. About the size of your Thanksgiving turkey. Do you know what word does not appear in these 1,500 pages? The word children. The word cancer appears 10 times. 4 of those times to deny that there will be a problem. Even though we know that fracking is a carcinogen-dependent process. This is why I wear the sign, withdraw the SGIS now, because there is nothing in these 3 reams of paper that have evaluated the health effects on us. And I, as a mother and a biologist, will not accept any carcinogen-dependent process in my environment when the word children does not appear in the document.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
I'm Jody. Andrew Isaac.
We're farmers turned filmmakers. We produced All Fracked Up and All Fracked Up 2.
Hi, my name is Ursula Rosem. I'm from Syracuse, New York.
I'm from Ithaca, New York, and I want a statewide ban now.
Our well was contaminated over 3 years ago, and it wasn't during hydrofracking. It wasn't a horizontal well. This was just a vertical well that went bad and contaminated our aquifer down there. We've been living with provided water in a water buffalo for over 2 years now, and on November 30th, we lose our water. They are taking our water away because we have a Pennsylvania DEP that, I don't know if they're bought out or what they're doing, but they're telling us that the water is fine endemic now. The water is so bad there, you can't even see through it, and they're saying there's no problem, and they're in collusion with Cabot Oil and Gas to get them back in the area. They don't want to spend the money to give us any water. They will not take the responsibility or the blame, and the DEP just threw us under the bus.
I'm upset with the gas industry and how they use their money to influence politicians. I think we need to be really frank about who funds a lot of the groups. I think we need to really talk about who funded Governor Cuomo's election campaign, and I want to know how many gas companies contributed to his campaign, and I want to know how many of those pro-drilling politicians in there speaking up for their towns, how many of them were elected thanks to money from the gas industry.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Susan Feisley, and I'm the mayor of the city of Portland. And as any elected official, it's our responsibility to ensure the health, the safety, the environment of those that we represent. Up until this point, as a mayor, I've done whatever measures I could take to protect our sole source aquifer. 3 years ago, I led a successful fight against a proposed gas station with underground triple-line state-of-the-art gas tanks that the engineers said wouldn't crack, but they wouldn't guarantee against man-made or natural disaster. And we're on top of a fault line. Can you guarantee, can DEC guarantee that that's going to happen to our fracking fluids and going into our aquifer?
No! This is what my kids are made of. They are made of water. They are made of the food that is grown in the county that I live in, and they are made of air. We inhale a pint of atmosphere with every breath we take. My daughter and my son and my whole family and all of you are made of the rearranged molecules of air, food, and water. And when you poison these things, you poison us. That is a violation of our human rights, and that is why this is a civil rights issue of our day.
2 years ago, when Bobby Kennedy Jr. said that frack was like good transition fuel, we thought he's an environmentalist, so he knows what he's doing. So we figured that it was a good thing. But when all of a sudden, when we found out that they wanted to put 1 billion gallons of toxic brine under our town, truck it all the way up from Pennsylvania, and pump it under our town in an abandoned gas well, like a half mile from Cuca Lake, Washington Finger Lake. We were like thinking, now wait a minute, this is supposed to be safe, responsible, clean, green, and patriotic. And all of a sudden it was looking like none of the above.
So I'm here today representing Fleeced, an organization that has started that advocates for people who signed gas leases before it was known that shale gas exploitation destroys our land, our water, our air, and our communities. Many of us are ashamed that we signed those leases, but we were lied to by the landman who came to our door. It's time for us to stop hiding our heads and get angry. We are here today to let the DEC and politicians know that most people who signed gas leases are against drilling. When we signed leases, we had no idea that we would no longer be able to get mortgages on our property. We had no idea when we signed leases that we could no longer get homeowners insurance. We had no idea that gas companies could come in and take any part of our land that they wanted to. We had no idea when we signed leases that our wells might be polluted.
You know, it's the kind of activity that will only enrich a small fraction of people while the rest of us in New York State are left with the damage.
2 days ago I was in Washington, D.C. and I received a tremendous honor, the Heinz Award, for my work in environmental health with 9 other amazing scientists and environmental advocates. It comes with a $100,000 cash prize, which I assure you is way more than my net worth. And as I announced in a press release yesterday, I am donating that money to the anti-fracking community because I can think of no better There is no better investment that I could do with this money than invested in the air, food, and water that are the molecules of my children and all of you.
We are sorry we signed, and we are angry.
Its reliance on outdated and vastly overstated estimates of gas reserves. An example of that would be the fact that no one tells you that after the first year, gas production decreases by 80%.